very heavy, and the panels that create that whole fold, those are all Pellon line. Now that was not easy to steam out, let me tell you. There's also a completely built-in corset inside that dress, which is why the lumps are on there. It's not because she's lumpy, you know, it's not cellulite, it's the corset we could not get smoothed out, and it is a boned corset inside of there. This one is another one of my favorite discoveries. This was designed by Edith Head, but we do not know who it was originally designed for, but Polly Bergen ended up wearing it in the film Winds of War, which was the most successful miniseries ever on television. It was for ABC. I went back in the notes, I found all of the rental sheets from Winds of War, and it does indicate that 16 of Polly's dresses came from the stock, which are vintage stock. So, and this was on the list, and it's like, I'd love to know who
and
this
he
was
just
done.
designed it.
Yeah. Right, yeah, so yes, they did design.
So you don't know when it actually would have been?
It would have been made about 1939.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, given the style and that fabric, it was 1939. But again, we think that it hadn't been used a whole lot because look how the gold is still very shiny. And the minute you throw a light on this, the TV people were here the other day, and the minute they put their camera lights on that thing, it just lit up. It was like, whoa, the gold is still gold. Now, the yellow dress. This is a contemporary dress, again, inspired by fashions from the 1930s. This is Kate Hudson from How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. This was one of the most requested dresses we had when we had the rental department. I always got questions, do you have the Kate Hudson dress? Do you have the Kate Hudson dress? Because people wanted it, which we didn't rent it because it was Kate Hudson's dress, but they wanted to copy it. For it could be a wedding dress, it could be a prom dress, it could be an evening gown. So people wanted it for various things. But this is done in the style of like a Jean Harlow, a Carole Lombard dress, which again inspired by Travis Banton and by Edith Head. So
like
this
that,
is
that one with that white satin one that was in the
yeah,
corner.
it was in the
was
corner.
In the fountain.
And I almost sent the two, but then I decided I didn't want to repeat anything from the last show. But I almost wanted to put the two of them side by side because it's the same bias cut. So, any questions before we vomit those to this room? Oh, let's go.
Yeah, she's let's see. Christine, we're going to let you get up here next by him so people are walking in front of him all the time.
Okay. All right. I'm going to get over here by my other favorite piece of jewelry. So now, the exhibit this time, for those of you who worked the last one, do you feel like we try to keep it a little more open so the flow of traffic might be easier, especially with wheelchairs, walkers, if we have those? I mean, does everybody feel comfortable, like the space is okay?
Yeah.
All right, just wanted to double check, just get your input.
Was that fabric Georgette?
No, it's not Georgette. It has a strange name. I got to call Betsy and I'll find out what it is.
That's something we might ask.
Yeah, there's Georgette. Oh yeah, they still make Georgette.
Do they?
Yeah, they still make Georgette. Because I know at International Silks and Woolens, they have a Georgette section.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's another name. The original fabric we think came from France. And it was a very sheer, nude, durable, and they built costumes on it. But it was to make it look like you were nude underneath. Okay, everybody. We have this necklace, which is Susie Parker's. Anybody remember Susie Parker? Love Susie Parker. She was America's top model before there was such a thing as top model. Susie Parker was beautiful, and she does a very short appearance in the film Funny Face with Audrey Hepburn and Fred Astaire. This was a necklace commissioned by Edith Head for Susie Parker to wear, and this, I believe, is part of the Think Pink sequence. And you see everybody thinking pink, and the models are coming out of cars, and Susie arrives, you'll see in the film clip. But I think this is a very unique necklace. This is a really, really unique piece. It is clusters of little rhinestones, little pink beads. Jackie has put the information on the front here. Okay, in the center is Anne Baxter from the Ten Commandments. All right, again, that is pressed copper that's gold-plated. And there's a tiny photograph of Anne in the necklace, which also is in the film clip. That is the lotus pattern. I'll switch.
I was gonna say, it's a lotus, it's a.
That's a lotus.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, that is the lotus. Then we have, this is a necklace, we're not sure if it was designed for somebody before Joan Caulfield, but this was from a Bob Hope film called Monsieur Beaucaire. And Joan Caulfield wears this and also has a very big brooch that goes with it. It's a gold filigree with amber drops, or faux amber. None of this is real, but it's faux amber drops. And again, I hope that Carol did find that in the film clip, because it's a very short scene in the film. Now, this one has a story. This is, again, Edith headpiece. This is Donna Reed. Everybody remembers Donna Reed. Thank you. Trying to explain Donna Reed to a 15-year-old or even a 25-year-old. It's like, please, don't you watch Nick at Night or anything? Okay, so this is a robe that was done for the film Beyond Glory. Okay? Now, somebody was in the rental department, and somebody dyed it red. They dyed it red, and then they decided they didn't like it, or they thought they would not return it red, that they would rinse the red out and return it to the rental department. Well, they didn't get the red out. So there was red streaks all through this. There was red around the center, around the seams. All of the threads inside were dirty pink. So then I found out, same thing with just looking at stills and investigating. It's like, oh my God, that's Donna Reed. That was from Beyond. I was going through a stack of stills from the film Beyond Glory, and it's like, that Donna Reed's wearing it. So Betsy tried to strip it down. She used OxyClean. OxyClean and what was it? Was it baby shampoo? But she soaked it, and it started to come out the pink. And she got a lot of it out. Not all of it, but a lot of it. So what she did, and also the shoulder had a bad repair done, so she repaired that. She over-dyed this with a very, very, very light green bath of dye, and that knocked the red down completely. You can't tell now that this was pinky, dirty pink, but this was a labor of love, because she really worked really hard on this. But yes, she got it. It was just a very light green bath that took the red out. So the red is still there, it's the green covered it over. So on camera, this would still photograph as black and white. You would not say, gee, isn't that pale green? No, it's black and white. Okay, over here we have a suit that was designed by Howard Greer for Jane Wyman. Now, this suit, we're not sure. It looks like some of the suits that were done for a film called Just For You with Bing Crosby. So we're not sure what film this is actually from. But this is just such a great design. I mean, this is such a classic black wool, simple suit. This is Howard Greer. Now, Howard Greer, after he stopped, he designed for individual actors who were friends of his, but he really set up his couture business. And out of the couture business came his ready-to-wear line for very high-end department stores. His stuff would have been sold at Montaldo's in Columbus, if you remember Montaldo's. That's where his stuff would have been sold, or Saks Fifth Avenue. It would have your very high-end department stores. So again, we're not completely sure. We think this might be from Just For You. We're not 100% sure. Over here we have two masterpieces of suit design. These are by Irene. Now, Irene Lentz, which again, if you be on Sunday, I'll be talking more about Irene Lentz. Irene did not work specifically for Paramount, but she worked for actors who requested her. So she was close personal friends with Rosalind Russell. Of course, Claudette Colbert, La Belle Colbert, had such an axe to grind with Edith that they didn't like each other, period. And Colbert was a piece of work, if you want to know the truth. Can you verify that?
Absolutely.
She was, and even in Howard Greer's, it was Howard Greer's book, or Travis Banton said he had a hard time dealing with her until he said, just give it up, you know. But anyway, these were suits designed by Irene. They are masterpieces of engineering. If you really look at that Rosalind Russell suit, look how the pockets fit.
Oh, yes.
Look at the stitching on the front. I did not try to replicate the blouse that went with this. There was a black and white striped blouse. This suit stands alone to me. You don't need anything to embellish it. The same thing with Colbert's suit from Skylark. I mean, it's got like the blouse, well, it's a faux neckline and faux cuffs. But it's so simple, and just that asymmetrical cut, just the sculpting of it, it's just beautiful.
It's sculpture.
It is. It's really, really beautiful. But I particularly like the taupe suit that was Rosalind Russell. And again, I have to point out, we did not have any images of Rosalind Russell that we could find. We have an image of her in the suit, but it wasn't good enough to blow up. Same thing with Colbert. Skylark, for some reason, it's not photographed. So we just have actor images so people can relate to, well, here's a headshot of the actor, this is what they look like, okay? Now, you see the relationship here between, this is the black suit that was done by Howard Greer, and this is a black suit done by Edith Head for Beverly Garland. Teeny tiny waisted Beverly Garland. But look at that, isn't this great? I love this. Now Barbara Hunsaker, bless her heart, did a repair job on this, because these were, the little bugle beads were starting to come off. But look at this. I mean, again, even on camera, you just don't quite appreciate it, but when you see it close up, it's such a beautiful design. But you can see the sort of the relationship and the influence that each other had. But isn't that, this is like a great suit. Now, this is the one in question. I just realized this was credited to Edith Head. Edith, of course, would have been the head of the department. This is a Paulette Goddard. I have a feeling this might be another Irene piece. I'm not sure, but Edith is not credited on IMDb or in the books for doing Forest Rangers, but let's just say she did. Let's say she oversaw it completely. But this is another suit. It's the belt. It's all about that belt buckle. Now, there were multiples on this suit because Paulette falls in the mud, and it's a whole big gag in the film with Fred McMurray, that she's a socialite coming to town, into the forest wearing this outfit. So, but again, I love that buckle motif on the belt. Now, over here against the wall is Catherine Zeta-Jones. Now, that is from a film called The Phantom. Now, that looks like something that would have been done by Howard Greer. So it is inspired by the work of Howard Greer. And what was it Greer said about, Travis Banton, not Howard Greer.
Edith credits Travis with saying, when in doubt, trim and firm.
Yes, so that would always make it look rich and elegant, trim everything in fur. That's fox fur. But it is in the style of Travis Banton. The cut of that. That was done by Marlene Stewart. And that dress, that suit, is definitely in the style of something that maybe Dietrich would have worn, like a day suit, a traveling suit, but it's all about the fur. Now, before we go to the center, anybody have any questions?
On the Irene, Greg Lavoie, who's a contemporary designer, used a lot, if you ever saw the Closer, with Kira Sedgwick. Yeah. He mixed a lot of Irene with contemporary looks.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that might be...
Because I talked to Greg about his jackets, and he had no clue. And then Fred Bellecci, who wrote the book, talked to him, and I'll tell you when we get to that. Okay, so here, I guess we'll start here. This is June Allison. This is from Strategic Air Command. It's just a great dress. It's really a sweet dress. And unfortunately, in the movie, you see her from here up, and she's wearing a scarf that covers this. It just looks like a plain old white dress. So I want to give it its due. This is just a really sweet design. I love the covered buttons. Some of them had popped off. Barbara, bless her heart, stitched the buttons back on, so now we're complete. Necklace is Barbara's to cover up the missing button instead of using the scarf. How about that? Now, I'll go back over here. This I talked earlier. Good, guys.
Who was you talked about somebody named Barbara, who's also...
Barbara Hunsaker.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Barbara, she did a lot of repair work on it.
Okay, thank you.
She's our exhibition director.
Oh, okay, sure.
Now, here we go again. This piece, this is a Mary Kay Dodson piece. I talked earlier about Mary Kay. So we'll get everybody. So this is Mary Kay Dodson. Now, as you can see, what I was saying earlier about Mary Kay followed trends more than Edith did, which again, at the time, made her popular, but they are very dated. So this, you look at this, it's just, I love the graphic on this. I think this is just fantastic. And if you're standing where Jordan is standing, you can see how the sleeve and this line, everything lines up. Again, beautiful engineering, and that's compliments to the tailoring department at Paramount. But this is a Mary Kay Dodson piece, and this is sort of typical of the work she did. So over here, now this is where I talked to Lavoie and I talked to Frank Bellecci,
Yeah.
author
Can
of
I
the book.
interrupt you for
Yes.
just 1 second? So you say that just becomes more dated because it was so trendy, it couldn't be reused like a lot of Edith's, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know that that suit was ever, it's in mint condition. I don't think that suit, you can always tell like when the color is dropped or it's faded slightly from dry cleaning. And I don't think that suit has been used probably since it was made.